Well,
Alright, press the record button.
alright, pressed it. Look who's in town.
Yeah, what's up?
It's the almighty Eric Kim. What's up, man?
What's up, Street Talk? This is Eric Kim. I'm in Detroit with my boy Brian Day. So I'm gonna hand it over to him. So Brian, tell us more about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Detroit, and obviously Detroit is a tough city in terms of we got a lot of tough times going on right now, but it is a good place to shoot. It's a nice place to shoot street photography. A lot of stuff going on if you look hard enough. So I was hoping to spend a little time with Eric today and walk around and see if we can catch a few shots.
All right. So how long have you been shooting street photography here in Detroit?
3 years now. Yeah, 3 years.
So what do you love most about shooting here in Detroit?
What I like about it is you really have to look for things. It's kind of a gritty city, so everything's not so easily laid out as it is in maybe LA or New York or Chicago. You got to look, but when you do find things, you find very unique scenes and unique people.
And what are some misconceptions you think there is about Detroit?
Well, one misconception is, as soon as you get out of the car with your camera, you're going to get robbed. And as you can see, walking behind us, there's families here. There are people out enjoying themselves. So it's not as dangerous as you think. It's not a war. It's not a war zone like people think it is.
Nice.
I encourage people to come check it out and do some shooting.
Right. And then where can people find you?
You can find me at brianday.org or on Flickr under the name .Brian Day.
Oh, check, yeah, you're an organization now, huh? Did I hear that?
That's the only way I can get my domain name. .com is taken by crazy guys.
Ah, okay. Hey, so you have a new toy in your hand. What is that?
I'm shooting with the Fuji X Pro 1 with the 35mm 1.4,
yes,
which I got from Japan Camera Hunter, Bellamy Hunt. I encourage everybody to check them out.
How do you like the camera?
It's quirky. It's taking some time to get used to, but I do like the image quality, and I like the feel of the camera. It is a lot lighter than the Leica, but I think it's got some good aspects to it. I think it's a firmware update or two away from being a really good camera.
And so show us the settings that you like to use on it.
The settings that I like to use, I usually shoot at about f8, 2/50th of a second.
Yeah.
And I usually have auto ISO up to 3200 because in an area like this, you're walking in and out of really dark spots.
Yeah.
So I usually only adjust the aperture. So as I'm walking around, I'll adjust the aperture between f8, f4.
So what are some quirks you've noticed about it?
Autofocus is slow, obviously. One thing that I actually had to send Bellamy an email about is, I don't know if you can hear this, but when you move it around outside, you hear a ticking noise. You hear that?
Oh yeah. What is that?
That ticking noise is the metal aperture blades clicking, open and close as it's metering the scene.
Oh.
Which is pretty annoying coming from the X100, which is almost completely silent. So
yeah,
it's taking some getting used to, and I actually thought it was a bug, but I looked around online and it's called aperture clacking or something like that. It's some kind of name for it, but apparently it's normal. So
apparently it's normal.
You have to deal with it.
And then, so what else do you like about it?
I like this manual focus, which is actually quite usable in the EVF.
Yeah.
Obviously not in the OVF because it's focused by wire. But I like the manual focus. I like that it's way smaller than my DSLR. I have the X100 here too.
Oh, for comparison.
And, here, I'll pull it out. It's not too much bigger than the X100. A little bit bigger. Obviously, there aren't a lot of accessories for this yet. I like to have a leather case to kind of help protect it.
Yeah.
I like the little thumbs up grip that's on the X100, and I really like that the X100 is quiet. The shutter is really quiet.
How's the shutter on the X Pro one?
Well, here you can hear it if I bring it up close. It's not too loud, but it's audibly louder than the X100.
So anything else you want to say to your fans?
I don't know about having fans, but I hope everybody's enjoying street photography, taking advantage of the awesome resources that we have online. Guys like Eric, a lot of the other guys that are really giving a lot of themselves and trying to help people learn street photography. I encourage you to get out there and shoot.
Right on, dude.
All right, bro.
Brian, tell us about the annoying things about the X Pro one.
By far, the most annoying thing about this camera, if you bring it close, you hear. If you Google it, I think they call it aperture chatter. You hear that clicking sound? And if you look at, I don't know how good that lens is, but if you look at the aperture blades, they're opening and closing.
Let me.
as the camera's metering, those blades are widening and tightening. And I guess because they're metal, maybe they're too close together. I don't know, but it creates a clicking sound that is rather annoying. Fuji.
I can't get it to recreate right now.
And the irony is that it's
hand model.
it's
Wait, move
hand
it
model.
again. Move it again.
George Costanza.
So
The irony is that it doesn't happen all the time. Like indoors, it doesn't happen, but
When you're
outdoors, it's pretty regular.
God, that's so
You hear that?
annoying.
Turn it this way. I've heard that it doesn't happen on the what's the other lens, the 28, the wide one. But I found a couple people online that have this camera, and they said, "Yep, the 35, mine makes the same noise." I've also heard that there's a couple of Olympus cameras that have the same problem. So obviously, I don't think firmware can fix that.
Just don't buy the 35.
But other than that, I love the camera, but that drives me crazy.
Oh, that is
I hate
pretty
that.
annoying.
So,